Hello, everybody. We are back with Red, White, and Brown by Desi Live. Shreya, Mira, and Michael. I hope you didn't go anywhere because we are not going anywhere until we tell you about the chart-topping hit this week on Netflix, Never Have I Ever, Season 3. Yes, we get Crazy Davy back. We get Paxton. We get Ben. We get Ben's relationship with Anissa. We get everybody questioning their sexuality and their gender and losing their virginity. And yes, all of it's back for Season 3. But we also get a really nice new hottie, Des, who is at the top of our hunk hot list for this week. He is so fine. He is so fine. That man is so good looking. But everybody forewarned, he is taken. We did our research. We wanted to make sure that you guys had that information because we know that's what we really care about. Kidding. Anyway, in season 3 of Never Have I Ever, we see a little bit more of Davy's relationship with Paxton. So now that it's official, actually, they go like public with it. They're seen around school with it, or they're seen it together in school, and it stirs up a bunch of drama in Davy's life, not intentionally. I feel like she brings that upon herself because she cares so much about what other people think about her relationship with Paxton. So she overhears some girls in a bathroom saying like, oh, she must put out in order to have him like her, and she tries to prove that by losing her virginity to him, but then she decides that she just can't do it. And Paxton's super nice about it, actually. Wildly enough, he's like, even though they build him up to be this kind of like complete jerk in the series who's just is ready to go with anyone that's willing to sleep with him, he's actually like, hey, I don't want to put you in any kind of uncomfortable situation. And even though I feel like Paxton changes for Davy has a lot of trouble coming to terms with his change because she simply, I think that he has a given track record of being messy, so that's fair on her side. But 2, I don't think Davy has fully come to terms with herself in order to really be in a fulfilling and meaningful relationship with someone else. Now, plot twist, before she even gets to understand and decide what's going on with her, Ben and Anissa have some problems. Even Fabiola have some problems. And apparently Trent and Eleanor are now together. Like, there's so many issues that are going on in other people's relationships that people start breaking up, people start getting with each other. And now Davy, instead of focusing on herself yet again, is thrown into like a, do I like him? Do I want him back? And then like all of a sudden Ben's in the mix too. Apparently Ben's like super heartbroken over Davy. So he's like, oh, maybe like I want you back. And Paxton's still jealous about it. Paxton's still, oh wait, I'm giving things away. But like Paxton's like, so anyway, we start seeing Davy in like a 3-way triangle between like choosing between people. And I'm like, that's a little repetitive of season 2 where she's choosing between 2 guys. Now she's choosing between 3 guys. And I'm like, I get it. Like, I really like it. I understand that, this concept of like her dealing with her father is gone. This concept of her dealing with kind of her family is gone because Kamala is the one who's really dealing with the familial part of it. Like, Davy really rarely ever has family issues in this season. It's mostly just like her love life and then her coming to terms with herself. Do I think it's well written in the way like it's climaxed to her discovering herself? No. Is it still funny to watch? Absolutely. Will I watch if there's another season? Of course. And I will, now that I've completely finished rambling, I'll let Mira and Michael take over to let you guys know what they think.
Well, I always enjoy a good old-fashioned coming of age story. Like, I always enjoy these kinds of series because everyone touches on new points that others don't. And I think like Shreya, what you said is her having to come to terms with herself before she can really pursue like some form of a meaningful relationship. That's something that like a lot of people, going through, high school in their teen years just like don't understand is like, not one, how long it takes to, come to an understanding of who you are and like your belonging and just like have somewhat of a grasp on that. But then 2, like not knowing like on how that can affect like your actions, your behaviors, your relationships with people if you don't like think deeply about that. And so I really, really want these shows to be pushing more of a message on this because you could go through all these years and then college and then all of a sudden you're in real life and you don't ever think critically about it and it turns into a midlife crisis. And so I think it's nice to see that like she's having to go through this and that there is support from like the other characters. Like Paxton is obviously supporting her through this and kind of being patient with it while she's having to figure out her own things on her own without someone really telling her, pushing her in one direction or another. So that's one thing I really liked about it, and I hope it keeps pushing on that theme.
What about you,
So, you know, I watched each and every season so far, and I thought this season was a little rushed. I think we're getting to the finale. The next season is going to be finale. That's going to be her senior year, and I thought that they didn't only concentrate on Devi this time around. They concentrated on the entire Devi universe, right? So what I loved about that was they gave enough time to Eleanor and her, how she progresses in her relationship with Trent, because she doesn't like him when she starts off. She only goes out with him because of his uncle, right? Because she thought that'll give her a leg up in her acting career. And then the entire quandary that her other friend Fab is in, with her long distance relationship, and her moving on to check it out with Anissa, and then finally settling for another person. So that entire process, and then of course I didn't see a lot of Ben this season, who I absolutely adore, but yeah, he gets it. Right? He just let's not give away the spoilers for people who haven't binged it yet. But Ben didn't have so much screen space, but he's a winner by the end of it, right? And then I really liked the Indian boy angle, because isn't that so true?
I cannot
Indian
get over
guys.
his name, guys. It's literally Nirdesh, right? It's Nirdesh. But because Devi is so like Americanized or naturally like English speaking, she can't pronounce it right. So she calls him Nerdesh, which like has the word nerd in it. So she pegs him as this like insufferable nerd coming off of sea slug school because he wants to be a marine biologist. And she literally goes to her friends and she says, hey, if you see an Indian nerd walking through the door, he's probably my mom's friend. And Fab is like, well, I see an Indian guy walking through the door and he definitely does not look nerdy. And he walks in and it's giving like Miss Marvel scenes with like the hottie with the jalebi baby playing in the background. And we're just like, oh my God, like who is that? That's how I know he's not single, ladies, because first thing I did was I ran to Instagram and I was like, is our homeboy single? No, he's not. But that's exactly the vibes that it gave. And I was like, I really love this turnaround concept of like taking the POC male fuckboy character and portraying them 100% as like head turning worthy, like he made the same kind of entrance that Paxton did. And I was like, I love that for us.
Absolutely. Not only that, but he's such a mama's boy. And that entire him and Sarayu Blue, Anirudh Pisharodi, Sarayu Blue as his mother. That was so funny, but that's so Indian of that woman. I mean, she's trying to be this very progressive person as a facade, but she really thinks that when Devi's having a meltdown, she helps her, but she helps her with with judging her. Right? Mm-hmm. She actually judges her as loony because she's having a meltdown, and she just doesn't get deeper than that. And she tells her son, oh, you shouldn't be with her because she's not the right person for you, because hey, you got through Stanford and we don't know where this kid is going. She's trouble. So no, I mean literally, but that is so true of the Indian community, because they just don't get mental health. They just don't. They're more concerned about how well the children are doing, which school are they going, were they, whether they're studying harder, it's just crazy how much focus on academics Indian parents have here in America. It's not funny anymore. So I thought the season was interesting. It was full of a lot of compelling characters and a very engaging story. And there's a character arc that was developed. I absolutely loved the school she went to in Colorado. Half hoping season 4 would be there, but she decides not to go in favor of her. So she's come a long way. Devi, who wanted to have nothing to do with her mother, stays back for her mother. Senior year in a public school, Sherman Oaks, and she decides not to go to this fancy school for really gifted kids in Colorado. So I thought that was fun. But